Hello and welcome back. I have mentioned this a few times in vlogs recently and other videos, but we have a makeup video today. Now you'll see in the title what brand we're doing, and this is SheGlam, which is Shein's makeup range. So I was trying to decide what brand to do and I actually got a voucher for that, so I was like, well, that's perfect, I'll use it to get some makeup. So I'm going to use my own makeup brushes because I just ended up not ordering some, and plus it means that I know the tools I'm using, how they normally apply my makeup. So if it's the makeup that's the thing that's changing it, or the tool I'm using. However, I will be honest, they're both Shein because they were part of Aoife's makeup brush she played with. Then she didn't play with some of them, so I claimed two of the eyeshadow ones because I needed them. But I've cleaned all my brushes the best I can, so they are clean, ready to use. And I will pop a clip in here of how the products look when they came, because some of them didn't come in the best way. But I'll explain that in the video. I wanted to show you guys how everything did turn up when it came out of the packaging it got here in. So as you can see, these got a little bit battered. I'm hoping the product inside is fine. These are fine. Then these came like styrofoam packaging around them, so they're in better, obviously, condition. I think the one or two could have done with it, but I'm glad they put this especially, and this, because they both would have broke. But yeah, they came really like packaged up in like styrofoam stuff. They just came as they are in the bag. So just thought I'd show you guys how they turned up, because obviously in this video I have took all the plastic off them at least. But I've got no makeup on. I've just scrubbed my face to try to get any last inch of it off if I had any left on. And we're going to start. I'm going to start in with eyebrows. So I am going to have to take my glasses off and on to be able to see what the products are, what the names are, prices, and also I'm taking them off to put makeup on. I have a small mirror here so I can actually see close up, if not I'm relying on my camera. But this is the eyebrow pencil. This is Instafill Brow Pencil and it is in blonde. This is one of the ones that got a bit damaged, the box anyway. I'm hoping the product isn't. I've took all the plastic off these by the way already, just to make it quicker. This is how the product looks. So we should have a crayon and I think a brush, yeah. So I'm hoping this crayon, fingers crossed, works well because it's very thin compared to what I usually use for my brows. I used to have a thicker crayon than this, but we'll see. So we're going to start. I'm going to use my mirror here just to see what I'm doing with my brows because it is very small lines this makes. So I need to be able to see in a lot more detail than I can see in my camera. But I can see it going on quite nicely. It looks quite subtle, which actually isn't the worst thing. I always get blonde when I get a brow pencil or anything, just because I find my hair, like my eyebrows, I'm not gonna lie, I'm missing like half my eyebrows because naturally red hair goes white very easily, and the ends of my eyebrows have already starting to do that, so half my eyebrows are nearly missing. But I will say I quite like that. I've not got a gel for them, which I normally use a gel, but I didn't get a gel and I got this because I completely forgot about getting one. I tried to go through my whole makeup routine, make sure I had everything, and managed to get an eyebrow gel. But it's not the end of the world, there's worse things. I need to push it up a bit. That uses up quite quick, so you can push it up too much, but there's plenty there. And normally I can push it up once, and then that'll do two eyebrows with my normal one. But as I say, my other one as well is a lot thicker. So this is taking like a lot more to get it filled in. And as I say, because I've got white eyebrows in places, I need a lot more down the ends of them to make them look full. Let's bring that round there. That's the other thing as well, it's really hard to do my brows because I have such pale brows. I have to really concentrate to find the hairs to make them look right. And now make sure that even's the next problem. Okay. Quite like that. It's very subtle like lines, so it takes a while to fill in, but I quite like the fact that it's not too much. I can't remember if I said how much this was. This was £3.49, this one. I am going to do a video very soon of half a face of Shein makeup and the other half with my own makeup to see the difference, and cost difference as well. I'm going to look at as well compared to what I usually use, because I have a proper mix of like budget friendly and higher end makeup, so be intrigued to see how they compare. That is how the eyebrows are looking Now, normally I put a little bit of concealer on now, so I don't lighten them off because I need to show you what one. This is the SheGlam Like Magic 12 Hour Full Coverage Concealer. This came looking very good. This is £5.49, and this is the shade Really Pale. It's just so I can seal my brows a little bit that I use this, nothing much. I literally cover it up again with my foundation after, and plus I'll also, while look at this. Okay, quite yellow undertone. I normally have more of a pink undertones when I buy them, but the problem with buying online for something like this, like I can't just go buy this in the store, is knowing what the tones are going to be like. Just using my sponge to, I think this is from M&S, to blend that just in under the eyebrows and over them. This gives me a good base, because I'm a nightmare for not having eye primers, so I do this instead, and it does a job. Seals everything in, and then when I blend it through with my foundation later normally, it blends really nicely. Quite like the concealer itself, it's quite well coverage. It's like I've got a weird band around my eyes though. The next 5 minutes, that's that. Let's move on to the eyeshadow though, because that's my next one. So next up, I always do my eyeshadow next. This is £4.49. This is a Coffee Shop 9-pan eyeshadow palette. It comes like this, and I'm going to open it. These are the shades. So this is like shades I always use, is browns and golds and nudes for a day-to-day wear. So I'm going to start with the nude, these two on either side. Just get a mix of them two on my brush. And I'm going to pop them just over the full lid just to give a base to work off of. And that's nice actually, that's a really nice base it gives. It's not much of a colour, but there's a bit of something there. And it's enough for what I need for a base. The bright side, I've got such pale skin, you can actually really tell when I put any colour on my eyes because I'm pale. Then I take my other brush, again from Shein, it's quite a stubbier one, and I know I'm going with a bit of a darker brown, so I'm going with this one on this side now. Blow my brush, just so it's not too much, and I'll just go in the corner here and bring that, dabbing it bit by bit round into the crease, because I don't do anything too dark if I can help it. This is like a day-to-day makeup I normally do, that I'm doing. My usual day-to-day, because this is what I use when I film, or day-to-day style, and then if I'm going out anyway, I'll do a darker eye. Just doing that again. Same colour on the other eye. Now let's try to get this matching, which I hate doing this bit, is to match my eyes up, because I always end up with one that looks 20 times better than the other. I don't know about you guys, but it is a regular problem for me. And now I can't help but put a little bit of shimmer on my eyes because I love shimmer. So I'll normally use one of my other brushes, whichever one I end up using. And I'll probably use the one at the top in the middle this time, a bit more of a gold, which is what I'd use normally, more of a gold colour. Definitely a lot of pigment in this, so I'm not putting a lot on the brush when I'm using it, but you can definitely see the colour going on. And it goes on nicely and blends very, very nicely, I will say. I quite like this, especially the price difference between this and what I usually use. But yeah, that is how the eyes are looking before any else goes on them. So next is mascara. So mascara I picked up was the SheGlam Lift and Elevate Lengthening Mascara. I think this is a new one from memory. This was £5.49. A lot of this stuff is like £6 and under, bar one thing. It's all quite reasonably low. I don't want to come out the packaging. So this is how it looks once it's out. I really like the look of that. So I'm going to pop my glasses off again. They're going to be off and on non-stop during this video. I should have a counter of how many times they come off and on. That's the wand, by the way, very thin. We're going to see how this goes on. Okay. I quite like this. Let me just adjust this eye. Then I will show you guys. Ooh, ow. That's just me nearly poking myself, nothing to do with that, just I'm nightmare poking myself in the eye. So the size of it means I can get really in the corner. I think I need 1 or 2 coats just to make it more noticeable, but it definitely lengthens. My hair's just doing its own thing, by the way, today, so please ignore it. I just shoved it up out the way so it wasn't in the way while I do my makeup. Okay, next eye. I'm having to focus on my mirror a lot more to not mess this up. Yes, I still put myself in the eye again, if you guys noticed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop an extra coat on each eye, I think, because I think it could just do that little extra lift. Don't help my lashes like to sit out front, not curl. Like this wants them to curl up and it won't, because my lashes just don't curl up. But if you want to see, that is what they're looking like at the moment. Just gonna put one more coat on the other lash. I can definitely see a massive difference between all the way before I put it on. You can get really far in with this because of it being so thin. Quite like that. Okay, now on to primer. So for primer, I picked up the Good Grip Hydrating Primer. This is Base Hydrant Good Grip, it says. And yeah, it got a bit damaged. This was, where's my primer? £3.49, so a nice price. It's just this little tube here. Yeah, we'll see how good it is for a grip, I guess. And I don't need my mirror for a minute now because I can actually do all this without my mirror for a bit. So I'm going to pop. Oh, it's quite liquid, is what I thought. How that goes. Ignore my hand as well with the elephant on it. I was at a thing with Aoife yesterday and we got elephant tattoos. Got the tattoos together. Right, you don't need much of this because it goes a very, very long way. Wow. It feels grippy. Like I can feel where it's drying and it feels very grippy. I don't know if it's like a bit of a dupe of the e.l.f. one maybe. Not use the e.l.f. one, so I won't be able to tell you for certain. But I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. I just wipe my mouth right on top of the elephant. Lovely. I'm just trying to stop a little bit going in my mouth. That's fine. Make sure it's down my nose as well. And while that dries, I'll tell you about the foundation. So the foundation feels very heavy. It's a Skinfinite Hydrating Foundation. I got this in Fair. This is what was not £6 on. This was £11.5. So I've seen cheaper foundations than this, I won't lie. This isn't the most budget friendly one. But I will say, like this, comes in a little bag. And this is it. I quite like the packaging as well on this. Let's have a look. I was trying to on my finger and it's not, it's just a square. Right, so this is nearly dry. I'm just going to wait till it's dry properly because I don't want to put this on until it's dry. The only other thing I haven't got is a setting spray from here, but it's because I'm using a setting spray that's very budget friendly already. That's gone tacky now. Because I don't want to buy about 20 setting sprays, which I have got a lot of them. I'm just going to use my budget one that I use anyway. It's from Primark. Right, so I can normally just do 2 pumps on my hand of my normal one. So we're going to do, hopefully, 2 pumps. It looks a very similar shade to my normal one, actually. Where's my normal foundation? Is it here? It's there. It's just a little lighter, I think, than my usual foundation. So what I normally do is just warm it up on my hand a little bit. Like so, and then I just put bits on each side. 1, 2 and 3. Oh, that's really tacky. That primer, that is, I don't think my makeup's going anywhere after this. We'll do a check-in at the end of the day as well, by the way, to show you how this is all set. So I just use this brush normally for my foundation. So this is what I'm going to use for this. The other thing about being tacky is I need to move very quickly, which I'm not very good at doing, to make sure it blends well before it starts to stick too much to the primer. Hoping as well it covers this spot that I've got at the moment because I'm so past the point of done with this spot I've got. Right, so keep it into the hairline a bit. Definitely blends through from the concealer nicely. Right, I'm going to just get my mirror so I can see a bit better than just on there and see any last bits I want to touch up on it. It's gone really nice actually, the blend of it. Quite like the shade. Okay, yeah, I have got a natural light by the way coming right in the window behind you guys. That's why I've set up my camera on this side. I don't normally film here unless I do a makeup video. Okay, so you can see under my eyes still looking very dark, but I don't put foundation under them. That is why. Okay, I can quite say I like that, and I definitely promote using it right now, but I'll let you know how it goes in the rest of the day because it could oxidise really badly. That primer is definitely grippy though, like I can feel the difference. So I'm going to go back to my concealer, which I showed you before. And concealer, I know I put a little bit there. Cupid's bow either side of the nose. Some on the nose and some here. And then as well I have under my eyes, so I go in there and here. Depends how well the coverage is with this, how much I need. That's the only thing I'm not certain of. I just put a little bit down there. I have got this spot. And hopefully blend it out a little bit. I'm going to use my mirror while I do this because I can't see very well there because I am very blind. This zooms it in a lot more, my mirror. It zooms me in a lot because it's a close-up one. This mirror, by the way, is just a cheap one I got from the shop one day. It's nothing special. I'm just going to blend under my eyes and just keep pushing it in. So it blends really well. It definitely gives good coverage actually. I quite like the coverage on it. Okay, quite liking the coverage of this. Let me just keep blending and blending and blending. I definitely need that much on my forehead. Wow. A little goes a long way with this one, which I don't find with a lot of concealers. That's a good sign. But a little does go a long way with it, so that's a good sign at least. I'd have to blend it through a bit more on my head, I think, in a minute. What I'll do is I'll let that dry a bit on there because I like it to dry a little bit my concealer before I finish the blend. Okay, I quite like that. It looks very weird on this compared to this. There's two very different visions here. Let me try actually. You know, I'm not done, and I have got here as a ring light, and it might help a bit. Where is it? It's plugged in. It's just being a pain apparently. There we go. That's a bit better. Bit better lighting. It's still not much difference because I've obviously got a lot of natural light in the area, but that's, I think, the best that's blending for it now. Okay, so then after this, I always go on to a liquid bronze I use for contour and bronzing because I don't like powder products much. So I picked up the Sunbeam Shimmer. This is a liquid bronzer. And this was $4.99. It's a very good price. Very, like I say, it's a very budget friendly. Like, the entirety of this makeup look is not much. I'll tell you at the end. So this is the bronze. What shade did I get? Golden Sun. Yeah, got Golden Sun. So that's how it looks on the end. You use that to apply it. So fingers crossed this goes well and it's a good shade for what I want. Okay, this looks like a very nice shade for me actually. So what I'll do is just draw on where I want it normally. Dip it again because I'll need a little more for this side of my face. I don't worry, I'm going to be enough there. I need a little bit either side of the nose and on the tip. Like so, and just bring this down a little bit more. Okay, so it does look like I've drawn all of myself at the moment. Excuse that. I just use this brush normally to blend whatever I'm using. Depends on where to get in my bag what I use normally. Like I say, I'm going to show you a more in detail comparison when I do a half and half look. Right, you definitely don't need much. Just the pigment is a lot. Like, I'll have to blend this a lot in a minute. Look, I have another brush for blending because this brush isn't the best to blend too much with. So I end up with a line a lot with this brush. It does my head in. No matter how I've blended it, if I dab it, if I brush it, it just doesn't blend as much as I would like. And I don't want it coming too hard on my head, which is going to end up doing if I'm not careful. So what I'm going to do is going to blend my nose with my finger, like so. Then I have different brush that I will use to try and hopefully blend this a bit better around the edges because this brush is really nice on blending. I've found this in the past, this one. And if need be, I can always take my beauty blender, which has excess product, and my foundation one. But definitely don't need as much of this product as you would think because it really does go a long, long way, this. Wow. Well, I'm looking very bronzed for summer, but there's only so bronzed you need to look. I'm going to pop a little bit of something on this, see if I can just help it out a little bit. And just blend through the top of my head a little bit more. Just because that is a little bit too much for me on the bronze front. It's just funny because the concealer is that light, it just completely cancels it out. It is so weird, the difference in the two. The way they work together, but it has blended it pretty nicely to make it just look like a nice subtle bronze and not the dark bronze it was. And that's one of the lighter colours they do as well, the golden. So definitely don't need a lot of it at all. Bear that in mind when I'm about to do the blush though. I'm going to bear that in mind very strongly. Because the blush is £5.49. I can't open it. There we go. This is the Buttery Bliss blush stick in Rose Ritual. So I use a blush stick majority of the time at the moment. I don't put it straight onto my skin. This was £5.49. And this just comes like this and opens up like so. And I don't roll it straight on my skin just because I'm very wary of it. I'm putting too much on because I don't know how pigmented it is. So I put it on my brush and it is very pigmented as I can see. So I need to be very light with this. Yeah, very light. I'm going to do is take some of that off on a towel in front of me because there's way too much product. Look at this, how much blush is there. And that's from 1 or 2 swipes. Normally I have to do a lot more than this to get it on. So yeah, you don't need a lot of this. So I'm going to blend that down with one of my other brushes again. I'm going to go in with another product to just blend that down. I've still got my trusted beauty blender to blend it out a bit. This beauty blender has never worked so much to make stuff not look as bad. It's not as bad, it's just a lot more pigmented product than I was expecting it to be actually. I'm not used to having such a high pigment blush. Mine's a lot paler colour, plus the pigment on that was just immense. Right, that feels a bit better, doesn't feel as bright. So then after that, it's always in with powder. So the powder I got is £5.49. It is a Baked Glow setting powder. I'm very impressed, I read that. And I like the plastic on this one because I want to show you one thing I did love. Taking the plastic off these, you don't have to open all this, they just have a pull tab on them. And there you go. You can get your plastic off without any, like, trying to pick at plastic for ages. I left that one on just so I could show you it because I was really happy about that fact. It's the little things, I know. So this is more of a peachy pink colour. And let's have a look. So the one I usually use is quite white. I think this is a H2O style one though still, so that's what I want it to be. We have our powder puff, and then I might just put my glasses on to see where the pull tab is on here. I can't feel it quickly. Oh, it's there. I can't always find the pull tabs to take the tops off the powder. Doesn't want to come off. I think I hate the powders getting these tabs off them. There we go. I can feel it. Should get my tweezers really. I think they're up there. There's somewhere up there. There we go. Tweezers. All else fails, tweezers. Yep, tweezers. Couldn't get my finger in the side because it's the ridges. There it is. That was an explosion. That was ridiculous. Okay. So the powder exploded. We're not going to talk about it because it's all over my hand, all over me. Luckily not all over my bed too much. And you get a little like cushion with it, but I like ones that are like this. So I'll be using my cushion. And this just, I normally put my powder, I'm going to do is pop the lid on this actually and try to get some out and into the thing. Because it exploded but didn't go actually into the dish like I need it to do. There we go. I only need a little bit of this, I don't need loads. I always put this just under my eyes, seal it in. It could also help dull the blush problem I'm having a bit actually. So just dab it off on there because it was a bit too much to what I wanted. I press this in as much as I can under my eyes. And then anywhere I put concealer, I'll normally just give a quick run over with it and just make sure everything is going nowhere basically. I set as what I can with the powder. Just try and make sure it's going nowhere because especially with the heat at the moment, because apparently the sun's back out here. I'm not fancying losing all my makeup to it. But this is how it's looking up to now. I'm going to have a quick look actually in my mirror at how it's looking. Under my eyes it looks very, very, very bright. However, that's kind of the thing, until I put my glasses on, they always look really bright. It's just never really been different. That feels quite nice though. Feels very smooth. And quite blurring, which is good when you have a child. Right, so what I'm normally doing now is I will set it now before I put my lipstick on. I just need to find my setting spray because I have a skill and it's one thing and it's losing my setting spray. Where did I put it? Can't see it back there. I just can't see my makeup bag is why I'm bothered. Wouldn't mind, but it's not in my makeup bag from what I can see. It's not in there. That's concerning because it's not where I normally put it either. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Well, that was quick mystery solved. It just got stuck behind my hair wrap. I put it down with my hair stuff and not with my makeup stuff the other day when I put stuff away. It's obviously just a spray, so I've gone, oh yeah. The one I use is from Primark, like I say, it's the Up All Night one from Primark. It's a really cheap one, £5. But yeah. Just pop that on and let that dry, and then I'll do my lips. And I'm going to clean my glasses in between because my glasses have got powder all over them as well. I was looking for a lid for that and I don't have one. Right, let's clean my glasses and do my lips. So for lips, I bought a lip crayon this time. So I do use lipsticks a lot, and I used to love a lip crayon, and I've not had one in the longest time. Make sure there's no setting spray on my lips, and my glasses still aren't clean. So I've not used a lip crayon in a long time. Okay, I'm really liking to finish this right now, and I can see it without my now I've got my glasses back on. So the lip product I got was £4.49. This is how it looks in the packaging. And it is the Just Kissed lipstick crayon in Shortcake. Now I quite like the look of this at the moment. Let's have a look at the colours like. Oh, it matches the packaging most perfectly. I'm going to have a look and see how this goes on then. I'm going to use you guys for this because I can normally do this. Very pigmented, very soft. I like this. And crayons are always quite easy to draw on the Cupid's bow as well, I found. Very, very soft, by the way. So I don't even have anything like extra things to it. But that is everything on. I'm going to come back to you guys just before I go to bed tonight to show you how it's looking, like if it's oxidised much or anything. But the total cost of all that makeup was £53.96. And I'm quite impressed with it. This is how it looks. I quite like it. I like the colour of the foundation a lot and the feel of that foundation. I think I am going to use it quite a bit interchangeably with my own, so it means I'm not using a very expensive one all the time now. But yeah, I really like that. Let me know what you think up to now of it. Definitely do not need as much that bronze as I used, but I'll jump back with you guys before I go to bed tonight and how it is looking on an overall, so you can see what you think. Okay, so I've had my makeup on for, put it on now, about 7 hours, and this is how it's looking, how it's worn. That's like come away here, I think. Other than that, it's actually sat pretty nicely. I'm quite happy with the way it stayed on. I think for a full day it might struggle a little bit more, but for what I've had it on for, I'm playing with Aoife and everything. It's done really well. I think that might be me more than my makeup. That could have been my application. I can't be certain. Actually, might be because I didn't dry. I think that's what that was. But yeah, lipstick. I've not reapplied this. I've drank a bit. It actually stayed on quite well in places. Mascara's looking really good as well. So I can say I'm very happy with the look of this makeup and very much will probably use it again. As I say, I'm going to do a half and half face in a few videos time, and I will wear that today and see how they wear differently both sides of my makeup. But thank you guys for watching. Please let me know down below anything else you want to see and what you think of this Shein makeup, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, bye.